Did I say it on the spot? Or was I a tad bit early and now everyone's just gonna be confused about what the fuck I'm rambling about? Oh, you're oh, that is so scuffed. I just saw the stream. Could have just taken. We honestly could have just fucking the background from fifth and 10 that we already used and just why? You- Are you inside? I knew it. I knew you were doing an update like Steam or something like that. Oh, by the way, I don't think your mic's coming through on Twitch. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're figuring it out right now. This is the testing. Nah, 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 no. We're all good. We're all good. We're all good. Uh,
Device. Now it's working. That was easy. So good at this.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, time to do my thing real fast, and then we can start. How was your day, Court?
Oh, are we starting?
What? No, I'm trying to
Oh,
fill the space in between me doing things.
nothing fucking happened really today, to be honest. And don't worry, I'm assuming we're gonna cut out we'll pick a good part to like fucking start at for the VOD,
Yeah. Well, I mean, the VOD
and
is
then
just
just
going to
kind
be
of go
the
from there.
whole thing, and
I mean, you can edit the VOD.
kind of edit the VOD.
Just cut off like the first like 5-10 minutes, something like that, where we actually start talking because we're really still figuring and testing things out at the moment. Do you want to ping people on Discord that we were doing this?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now.
All right.
Okay. And then let me move this over here.
I'm really glad that this week one was really stupid. It gives us a lot to talk about, and it gives me high hopes for the season as a whole.
I think it's going to get weird.
I hope it gets weird. I love weird football.
Ba, ba, ba.
Did you see Ray Narvaez Jr. being like, sorry to say that my NFL career is over"?
No, I didn't. I don't even know if I follow Ray on Twitter.
I think he's like the first
His
person I
career's
follow.
not over.
His career can't be over. No,
Somebody
I'm
will
gonna
pick
wear
him
this
up.
jersey everywhere I go.
Okay, I think I'm ready if you're ready.
We reached at a good point to finally start.
Probably.
All right. Well,
You like
I
how
was gonna
confident I
leave.
sounded?
I believe you're 100% confident. I'm definitely 100% confident because we are starting fifth and 10 here, a football podcast that we do where we talk about football, and we didn't do it last year because we were really lazy. But we're gonna try to do
And
it this year.
busy. And lazy. Mostly lazy.
Mostly lazy. Funny enough, the year we actually decided to really get into it, the busy part came in.
Mm-hmm.
Hence the really fucking scuff shit that I'm hoping we fix for next year. But hey, you can just put this on in an extra tab if you're watching it as a VOD. But we are streaming this at the moment. Because we thought it'd be more fun to stream it. This is Ten's idea.
It's just more fun than us sitting talking to
The void.
the void. And I think for a little bit we had that stupid little bot that recorded the audio instead of just recording the audio like normal people.
Yeah, well, we've never really done anything like that before, so.
No. But now I've done it a little bit, and I know about clapping and syncing and dark Audacity. I don't know anything about editing.
Yeah, I know better. I know stuff with editing better than like live streaming and shit like that. I don't stream. You do.
Barely. Hopefully more.
You should get back into it, but like we're doing right now.
Yeah, and that's why we're doing this.
Speaking of the busy, we missed we were gonna stream a week ago at first for the off season, but we couldn't. We ran out of time.
I had like 8 things on Tuesday.
I had a lot of things to do, like up until Tuesday, so I was just busy as well.
And I was working Wednesday night.
So I thought that we would start by we did make off a few off-season predictions prior to week 1. And I guess we'll just quickly go over those. I'm gonna grab my notes, and by notes I mean a literal like text file that I made.
I've got mine on my phone.
Do you want to start with the awards?
The awards are like maybe the only thing that I had time to do. I didn't do my seating.
Okay, well
I told you I ran out of time.
I know. We could make it up. The seating shit you could just do like.
I'm a very busy man.
All right.
We'll start with
Who is your
awards.
So we got offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the year, offensive player of the year, defensive player of the year, and MVP. Who do you have for offensive rookie of the year?
Breece Hall, because there's not like any crazy standout rookies that I saw in this draft class. But I think Breece Hall's in like a good position to like actually make a difference with this team.
You see, Breece Hall I think is a pretty good pick. But weird enough in week 1 again. It's just week 1, maybe trying to adjust him in. Michael Carter had more touches, I believe, than Breece Hall did. But I'm assuming it's just a week 1 thing. But again, I guess presuming that we haven't done week 1 yet. You know, we're going back in time a week. There are a lot of good players to pick from. George Pickens, Chris Olave, Sky Moore, Alec Pierce, Breece Hall. But there were 2 that really stuck out to me, which were either Drake London, but I didn't go with Drake London. Mine is Dameon Pierce. I believe in the hype. I am on the Dameon Pierce hype train, absolutely.
All right. But
defense of the rookie year was harder, in my opinion. Dameon Pierce kind of seemed like the top clear pick to me from this rookie class. Defensive rookie of the year, it's just all over the place.
I honestly had an easier time picking my defensive rookie of the year, but that's just because I've been really high on Aiden Hutchinson.
I knew you were
like the entire offseason. So I'm sticking with Aiden Hutchinson.
So there's a lot of Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon, I think it's Thibodeau, I think is how you pronounce his name.
That's
Kyle
how you
Hamilton. Say it. Yeah, Derek Stingley Jr. I was thinking of picking him, but I wasn't sure if he was going to be consistent enough with injuries and jazz like that. Jordan Davis, be great to see a nose tackle or like a DT get defensive rookie of the year on the Eagles, George Karlaftis, but I went with Sauce Gardner. I think Sauce Gardner is just he's just gonna be so good. As people might target him at the beginning of the season, but I don't know, man. I got faith in Sauce Gardner for all the Jets. What about offensive player of the year?
I'm with Jonathan Taylor.
Hey, same here.
I think he's gonna do really well this year. He did fucking phenomenally last year.
There's so many players that just kind of kept rolling off the top of my head.
Like, I know that one was actually kind of tough.
Justin Jefferson, Herbert, Jamar Chase, Patrick Mahomes. His mother named him Patrick. Aaron Rodgers, King Henry, Cooper Cup, Stephon Diggs, so many players you could just be like, who to pick? But I think JT has a better Colts squad now. And going into the third year, I think he'll win this running back battle that we're actually going to hopefully get with King Henry. I just think he's going to do even better. What do you? Why JT for you instead of if you had a tough time with it? Why JT?
He's just consistent enough last year, and I think, like you were saying before, just a better Colts squad. I think that offense is going to be a little more dynamic than it was last year. I'm expecting Jonathan Taylor to really be like that cornerstone of that whole offensive unit. I think the Colts are going to lean on the run game a little more this year. Not saying that they didn't last year, but
well, they didn't enough in my opinion.
Yeah, they should have run the ball a lot more.
All right, and then defensive player of the year. What there were like maybe at least like 3 or 4 choices to pick from. T.J. Watt, Nick Bosa, Micah Parsons, Myles Garrett. Who'd you pick?
Myles Garrett.
Did you pick Myles Garrett? Yeah.
I thought he would have got it last year if T.J. Watt didn't have like an absurd year. T.J. Watt's not playing a couple weeks. I would have picked Myles Garrett regardless of whether or not T.J. Watt wasn't hurt, but
I narrowed it down to 3 as well. T.J. Watt was not one of them, to be honest. I had Myles Garrett as a possible pick. It was really close. I almost picked Myles Garrett. Almost did Micah Parsons. I don't know, man. I just think Aaron Donald.
Think he's gonna win it again?
It's a safe pick, but I think it's him. Yeah, I think he's gonna win it again. I don't know. Something you got to go with your gut, right? I don't have like people like Sauce Gardner, Dameon Pierce, JT, and my MVP. I could give you comprehensive reasons why, and I kind of have. I don't know. Aaron Donald's just the gut. It's just in my gut.
That's completely fair. He's very good at what he does. There's a reason he's. How many times has he won it? Twice.
Twice, I think.
2-time defensive player of the year. Who do you have as your comeback player of the year?
Fuck, I forgot to fill that out. Comeback player of the year? Well, this is I gotta go off the top of my head now. Comeback player of the year. Be funny if it was Carson Wentz. But I mean, I'd be mad. Who do you have?
I've got Michael Thomas. You know that like I'm very wishy-washy on Michael Thomas, but it's really hard to deny that he's not really good at football. I'm just concerned
would you have done this before week 1? I have to ask.
I would have done this before week 1.
Gotcha. Okay, because he did well.
My biggest thing is I don't know because like I'm obviously not like a Saints medical staff trainer. But like the whole debacle with the offseason last year, where he ended up missing the whole season because of he didn't get like what was it MCL, something with his knee. I forget specifically what it was. He needed an operation done, and he didn't get it, and waited until like right before the season to get it, so he was just out. And then the entire preseason, where he just like wasn't practicing, and what was it, his hamstring or something he was complaining about. But I think, you know, if he plays all 17 games, I think he's gonna end up doing fine. I think he's like the only person I could really think of off the top of my head that's like coming off of an injury from last year. Maybe you could make the case if Derrick Henry has a good year, but Derrick Henry played most of the season is the thing.
I don't think he even played half of it.
Derrick Henry?
When did Derrick Henry?
He played most of the season, I thought.
No, like,
Derrick Henry was the other one I was thinking of, but I was like, Michael Thomas missed more time. I think Michael Thomas is going to come back and be a dog this year.
How many games did he play? In 2021, he only started in 8 games, less than half the season. Yeah.
Then I just softballed you an answer.
I was thinking Derrick Henry as well, but maybe Baker.
You think Baker?
I said maybe, but I'm gonna stick with King Henry. But I don't think that Baker's a bad pick.
I don't think Baker's a bad pick either, but it's like that's not what I would have thought of because he was hurt, but he played the whole year. But I mean, like
Yeah, but
that's not like the
when you add in the
qualification for comeback player. That's just what
that's,
I think of when I think comeback player of the year.
yeah, but what I was thinking of for some reason, comeback player of the year, unless if you're in like a Alex Smith situation, injury isn't the first thing that comes to my head. I was just thinking like improvement, and weirdly enough, before Michael Thomas, before King Henry, King Henry's my pick by the way. Before both of those, before Baker Mayfield, do you know who weirdly enough was the first person to come to my head?
Hmm.
Trevor Lawrence. Like I felt like he just got fucked over last year, and he was just gonna do much better this year. I don't know why. I'm not picking Trevor Lawrence, but
I
if
don't know.
that does happen,
I think he's gonna have a better year. I think it's hard to not have a better year.
I'm going. The Jaguars did all right at the end of the seasons, but I'm going King Henry for
Yeah,
comeback.
you know all about the Jaguars at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was there. You were there as well.
I was there. It's a good thing I was there because you would have lost your fucking mind.
Do you want to tell people what happened during that game? For context, since they don't know what
The
we're talking
clown
about.
game.
The clown game, which was the final regular season game between the Colts and the Jaguars. Colts win it. They're in. Jaguars are the worst team in the league. What was it? We were in person for that game. Like not
Because
at the game,
it was
but
the
we were
day
watching.
after Magfest.
Mm-hmm. We were drinking,
and it's a good thing we were drinking.
I was drinking a lot.
Oh my god!
I want you to describe to them from an outside perspective what I was like during that.
I don't know. I was also drinking quite a bit too. We were playing King's Cup. We were kind of drunk.
We played King's Cup like during the third quarter because I was like, I can't watch this
you.
anymore.
You were fuming, and I didn't care because my team was already eliminated, so I was just kind of like basking in it. But you were pissed.
I was, because all you have to do is beat the worst team in the league to make it to the playoffs. Because that's all you got to do is just make it, and then you fucking
winning
whatever.
it.
New year, new season. Not off to a great start, but we'll get to that later.
It's off to a
and then
start.
Last
for you
thing
guys.
I guess would be the season predictions of seedings. I guess I for the AFC I guess we'll go 7 to. I'll just say the winner. Winning the AFC East, I had the Bills. The North, I had the Bengals. The West, I had the Chargers, and the South, I had the Colts. And then taking the 5, 6, and 7 seeds would be the Chiefs, Broncos, and Titans.
See, I could do that.
Yeah,
you wanted me to list like 7 wild cards and everything. I got
no, just the 4 division leaders and your 3 wild cards. That's all I wanted.
Bills winning the AFC East. I think the Ravens might take the North this year.
Again, none of this is being affected by week 1, right?
This is not being affected by week 1.
I trust you. I do trust you.
I'm back in time right now. I think the Chiefs win the West. The God, the South is so hard. Colts, I guess. I'll say Colts.
Right. Who are your wild cards?
My wild cards?
Mm-hmm. There's so many good picks, right?
There's because the AFC is so stacked.
It's so stacked.
Wild cards. Patriots. Bengals. Browns, maybe.
Patriots, Bengals, Browns? Really? That's interesting. So no Titans. Nobody else in the West. No. Who was your West champion? You said the
Chiefs.
Chargers? You said Chiefs. So no Chargers.
Oh fuck. Maybe switch the Patriots for the Chargers.
Okay, yeah. No Dolphins. Really?
It's a tough conference.
Yeah, no Dolphins. No, the entire AFC West really. No Broncos, no Raiders.
Someone's got to lose, Court.
I mean, someone does have to lose, yeah.
It's the unfortunate
Uh,
reality of it.
Funny enough, I'll send this picture over to you because it also has my week one predictions, which you didn't make, but I did. You can put this up if you want to as like an overlay or not. It's up to you.
I cannot click on Discord because it will ruin
Fair
the
enough.
overlay. Should have sent this to me forever ago.
I should have. I don't. It was gonna be a surprise. Remember, I made these predictions a while
Oh
ago,
yeah, it's
and the
great.
idea is that I wouldn't spoil it ahead because I had the records there because I went through and I simulated the entire season on my end. I had the Bills. I had a couple teams over 10 wins not making the playoffs. I had the Dolphins at 8 at 11-6, 11-6. Raiders at 9, 10-7. Ravens at 10, 10-7, and whatnot. Just a lot of things that were. That AFC is so stacked.
It's so hard to pick. I don't think that there's like a legitimately bad team in the AFC. I think the Jets like aren't terrible. I think
I
they're
did
not
go a little bit.
great, but like the AFC is so stacked. Like comparatively, they're not very good. But I think that they're like a decent team this year.
As somebody who did do standings and simulated shit out, so I had like the records and whatnot. I did end up then simulating my whatever playoffs, which would have ended up with for the AFC, the Bills and the Chargers as the conference championships, and I think I had the Bills going to the Super Bowl.
I think this is the
Who do you
Bills' year. Honestly,
you think Bills win the AFC?
they're like my early prediction for the Super Bowl.
Oh, I was gonna get to the Super Bowl after we did the NFC.
I just got too excited.
Bills Mafia, baby.
Yeah, Bills Mafia, baby.
Who do you have them beating in the AFC Championship? If you just had to say.
Ravens. I think
All
the
right.
Ravens go pretty deep in the playoffs this year.
You see, I have a team like that in the North. Not the North, the NFC North, who I'm really excited about. And speaking of the NFC, who are your NFC teams?
NFC East, the Eagles. NFC North, Packers.
Mm-hmm.
NFC South, say New Orleans. I think honestly. And then the West, I think the Rams win that. Wild card teams, Buccaneers definitely. I think the Niners kind of squeak their way in there because they seem to do that every single year. It feels like.
Yeah.
And who else?
You got a couple of teams to pick from.
Seattle, maybe.
That would have been the one I would have said no.
No, you think the Cardinals?
Well, I didn't have the who were one of your I didn't have the Saints making it. So, but I did have the Cardinals making it.
I did. Saints winning their division. I had Buccaneers,
I think you're
Niners,
crazy, dude.
and
I think you're crazy.
I'm objectively correct.
I think you're insane.
You'll see it at the end of the year. No, I'm the smartest man on the planet. I'm a computer.
So if I had my NFC seeding, I think the Bucks are just the clear only good team in the NFC South. I think they're the only good team in that division. Not to say that one of those teams like we can't squeak into a wild card spot. I could see that happening, but to me, it's just the Bucks are the clear favorite in that division.
I disagree.
Still one of the only. I think the Bucks are one of the only like good teams in the NFC. So I had the Bucks. I had the Bucks winning the South, the Packers winning the North, the Rams winning the West, and the Eagles winning the East. And then my wild cards. My top wild card is the Vikings, and I think that the Vikings are gonna have a tough time getting into the playoffs because that's just how the Vikings work. But genuinely, man, I don't know. I'm so high on the Vikings getting deep in the playoffs this year. I just think it's gonna happen. New coach. I don't. I just feel. I have a feeling that the Vikings. It's their year. It's Kirk Cousins' year. It's Dalvin Cook's year. It's all Justin Jefferson's gonna pop off. Maybe win MVP. Who knows? Probably not.
Not a quarterback.
Justin Jefferson could win Offensive Player of the Year.
Receivers can't win MVP court. That'd be
Uh,
crazy.
and then my other two ones were I had the Niners and the Cardinals making it win, but I could see the Saints making it in. I could maybe see the Cowboys again. We're back in time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could
Before everybody died.
let me really set us back in time. I could see Dak Prescott making it to the Dak Prescott leading this team through the entire season, making it to the playoffs. You know?
Yeah, I think everybody on their team stays super healthy all year. I don't think they have any injuries.
Nope, not in the slightest. But no, even then, like I don't, dude. I got and then my NFC, my conference championship. I think the Rams are gonna. People bring up. I don't think bringing up Odell as a loss matters to me because they brought in straight up. You lose. Oh, you lose 2020, 2021, 2022 Odell, who's a good receiver, but you get Allen Robinson. That's not a loss to me. That offense is not hadn't lost anything. The
And
only
they still have
they've
Cooper
lost
Cup.
exactly. They still have Van Jefferson as well.
Yeah, it's an absurd team.
No, anybody who brings up like, oh, but they don't have Odell. It's like, yeah, but now they have fucking Allen Robinson.
Yeah, and
Finally with a good quarterback. And then
Odell's
they
all right.
lost Von Miller. That's it. They lost Von Miller. That's like the one big loss they had this year over the offseason.
And they didn't even have him most of the year.
Yeah.
And now he's chasing a ring in Buffalo.
I think Rams and Vikings get to the conference championship. I do think the Rams are better than the Vikings. I think it's going to be a Bills-Rams Super Bowl with
You have the Vikings going to the conference championship?
You have the Ravens going to the conference championship.
You know?
Well, I guess we're just high on purple.
I just really like the color purple, man.
You know how much I love purple. I had my nails painted, but I had to. They were super chipped. Who's your NFC Super Bowl representative? Who's losing to the Bills?
Who's losing to the Bills? Man, this is a lot harder off the top of the dome. I should have put aside time and simulated the whole season like you did. Because you're like, oh, here's my nice chart. Here's all the matchups this year. Here's the records and everything. I was going, I don't know, the Ravens look alright. Who loses in the Super Bowl to the Bills? Who gets that?
You know what's funny is I almost put a tie on the Colts record when predicting. I'm not lying, but it wasn't against the Texans. It was for some reason I thought they were going to tie with the Titans.
Tampa Bay makes it to the Super Bowl as a wild card spot again.
It's a wild card spot.
Late season Lenny. That's my reasoning. They're gonna be like kind of okay all year, and then they're gonna make a late season push, sneak into the wild card spot, and then probably knock out New Orleans in the first round. It's just a very NFC South thing to happen, and it happens all the time.
I can see that happening. So Bills Bucks Super Bowl. That's your end. Mine's Bills Rams. With the Bills winning.
Bills Bucks.
Von Miller gets his successful revenge and ring chasing all at the same time. I brought up the ring chasing to a couple people when we were watching on Sunday, and they were like, "Court, why you giving him shit?" I was like, "Dude,
because I am gonna give him shit."
You should hear 10. Yeah, I was gonna say 10's giving him.
I'm so mad about it. He's such a ring chaser. Literally plays in Denver his whole career. Like last couple of years of his career, he's like, I'll join Super Bowl favorite LA Rams most of the way through the season. I'll join Super Bowl favorite Buffalo Bills at the start of the next season. Come on, man.
All right, so my week 1 predictions. I don't think you did this, but I'll rattle off through them quickly. I had Colts beating the Texans. That was wrong. Somebody already did the math for me because I'm doing this with a couple other friends. I had the Bengals beating the Steelers. Ravens beating the Jets. What?
Bengals beating the Steelers. That was wrong.
That was wrong. Yep. I had Ravens beating the Jets. That was right. Dolphins beating the Patriots. That was right. Chargers beating the Raiders. That was right. Bills beating the Rams. That was right. Jags beating Washington. That was wrong. Panthers beating the Browns. That was wrong.
I wish they did. We deserve it. We deserve it.
Chiefs beating the Cardinals. Got that right. Titans beating the Giants. I'm so glad I got that wrong. Broncos beating the Seahawks. Wrong. And then Niners beating the Bears. Wrong. Lions beating the Eagles. Wrong. Saints beating the Falcons. Right. Yeah, that was right.
Yeah, that was right.
Well, for most of
This,
the game,
the
it didn't look
the
like it was
Falcons
gonna
are
be right.
already in Falcons are already in like mid-season form. It's incredible.
Packers beating the Vikings. Wrong. And Bucks beating the Cowboys. Right. I think I was like 7-8-1 in predictions.
That's 7, 8, and 1. Are you giving yourself that tie?
But that's just what somebody wrote. 7 right. I don't know what the not including the tie. 7-8 right. 8 wrong.
It's not bad. Do we want to quickly go over the
Yeah, I think
games of the
so.
week?
Just
I
kinda go a
didn't
little
get to
bit
watch a
quicker.
lot of them, so
I watched a lot of
I'm gonna
them.
be talking out of my ass so much.
Don't worry, I'll be here. I'll be coming in like a fucking Phoenix Red objection shit. So I'm gonna stop you. Don't worry. I know more football than you right now.
No, you don't.
I know more 2022 football than you do.
Yeah,
Bill, but we did watch Bills Rams. You were there for that.
I was mostly there for that.
hmm
And the Bills, real good at football.
Real good.
God damn, they are good at football.
I don't know what else to say except certain offensive players on the Rams didn't get utilized at all. Cam Akers, Allen Robinson. Uh,
Matt Stafford absolutely kind of shitting the bed in the pocket. How many picks did he throw?
2, I
3.
think. 3, really?
He threw 3 picks.
To be honest, I stopped paying attention a little bit into the second half.
Yeah, he finished the night with a QBR of 23.6.
Oh, wait, a QBR or a passer rating?
QBR.
Okay.
Passer rating of 63.
Neither
Not
of
much
them.
better. Josh Allen. Look, like he threw a couple picks himself, but I think the 3 touchdowns.
Did we ever say who our MVPs were?
We didn't say who our MVPs were, but I'm talking about him right now. It's Josh
I'm talking
fucking
about
Allen,
Josh
baby.
Allen. That's why I brought it up, because Josh Allen's my MVP.
Yeah, Josh Allen looked fucking. Ooh, damn, that man can play football.
That was the easiest pick. Genuinely, out of the 5 awards there, I guess 6 if you include comeback player of the year, but out of those 6 awards, I was doing this stuff last week. I immediately went Josh Allen MVP. I can't see anybody else getting it.
Yeah, my offensive player of the year was literally just who is almost as good as Josh Allen.
Who's going to be the second best?
Yeah, who's right behind Josh Allen, or who's just as good as Josh Allen but not a quarterback.
All right. There's not much to say except the Bills just look so freaking good.
Yeah, they're 31-10. It was a blowout. The Rams just they didn't look great.
But again, it's week 1.
It's week 1. Nobody is good. We don't know anything actually.
Did the Rams look super good at the beginning of last season? Because I feel like they didn't.
I can't remember. I don't think that they looked like standout good until like maybe a third of the way through, and people were like, "Oh shit, wait, hold on, these guys might be for real." I can't remember.
I very much remember the match where everyone really went, "These Rams are legit." It was that primetime game, I think, against the Titans, where everyone said the Titans are going to win, and then the Rams absolutely destroyed them. Or maybe it was the other way around. I mean, give me a moment. I was in a bar.
They're looking up past stats.
It was the other way around. Everyone thought the Rams were going to win. The Titans. Screw it. I'm wrong. I know.
I thought you said that you knew more football than me.
I said I knew more 2022 football. That was 2021.
Weird distinction. I had to work.
I was drinking. I was in a bar.
Next game that I didn't watch, but I was heavily invested in checking all the time at work. Browns Panthers.
Well, next I should be Saints Falcons, looking on the going down the NFL schedule order.
I will open that up right now.
Because that would be Saints at Falcons, where it just looked like the Saints. So I very much remember when they were going into halftime, they showed up the stat board as off as they do, and for under passing yards it said -2. I kept asking people like, "Hey, did you guys see that?" I'm like, they're like, what? I'm like, do you see how many passing yards the Saints have in the first half? I'm like, guess. And they're like, 25, 30. I'm like, try -2. You're on the wrong side of the zero.
But it's fine because they were playing the Falcons, so it doesn't matter.
Falcons will play at the Falcons.
Mid-season form already.
Mm-hmm.
They what was their lead at half? It was like 16-7.
Something like that. You know who the MVP was in that game, in my opinion? Younghoe Koo fucking kicked his ass off.
Oh yeah,
Dude,
I mean,
he had multiple 50-yard field goals, like in the first quarter.
but it wasn't enough because the Falcons.
Yeah.
I didn't check it, but I am gonna check it right now. Do you think the Falcons got to a 99% win percentage?
I think they got to 97, right?
Let's find out.
I think I remember seeing this. I think it was 97.
Let's see. Box score. Oh, wait, no, not box score. I want Gamecast. Oh, wrong game. Working on it. Gamecast.
If I did want to mention anyone from that game, I was right in my guess about Drake London. Drake London looks so good. For our first game, dude was nailing it.
They made it to 96.7. Oh, sorry, my bad. 97.1 win percentage.
Yeah.
With like at the beginning of the fourth quarter, it was like it's pretty much a lock. Like just don't lose. You're up 10-23 at the beginning of the fourth, and the Saints have kind of looked bad the first half. They dropped the ball and lost by 1 point.
What's the order of our waiver wire in our fantasy league?
I don't know.
Waiver order.
I'm second last.
You're second to last, so technically
last.
I can go. I can talk about all about my first like waiver wire pick over you, dude. I'm thinking of getting Drake London.
I thought you were last.
No, I'm 6 out of 8. I was last before this week, but I think it's because I scored the third highest of the winners.
I thought you scored the most highest of the winners.
Nah.
Oh, Corbin did.
Corbin did, yeah.
Corbin.
You got the wrong co.
Yeah, it's
sorry. You got the wrong.
Understandable.
He didn't. Drake London didn't explode, but I just whenever the ball was thrown to him, he just snagged it down. I have a feeling they're going to develop. He's going to develop as like a huge wideout for them. So that's why I'm thinking I might have my first pickup be Drake London.
I need to look at waivers, but I might wait another week. Next game.
Yes.
Browns-Panthers.
Browns-Panthers.
I kind of wish we lost. I'm not too upset that we won. Because it's the Browns' first time being 1-0 since 2004. So that's kind of exciting. Ooh, but also at the same time, we kind of deserve to lose a bunch of games this year just because of how we handled our quarterback situation during the offseason.
That game has another wide receiver I'm thinking of getting. I think Baker's got his wide receiver one. I think Robbie Anderson could be a good pickup. I think that connection's only going to develop more over the season. Because that's the big thing for me in week 1 is I don't look for who scored the most amount of points. I look for who got a good amount of targets, right?
Yeah.
Targets, I think, are way more important to me in week 1 than the amount of points. Because I know that, like, Duvernay on the Ravens had, like, 20-plus points. That's probably just going to be a week 1 thing. He got, like, maybe 3 or 4 targets the entire game. People like Rob Anderson, Drake London, they got, like, 10 to 15 points in week 1. I think those are really good pickups, in my opinion, because I think those targets are only going to increase. MVP of that game, Kareem Hunt. Dude, first half, 2 touchdowns. He was insane that game.
I didn't get to watch it. I was at work. I saw Cade York's kick. That's like almost all I saw. I saw a couple other big plays, but I had to like completely stick to highlights on Twitter while I was busy, and I'm still mad about it.
Well, you're gonna get more time this week to actually watch, right? So we can have.
I'm gonna be off the next couple of Sundays, hopefully.
Let's go.
Jeez.
There was Niners Bears. This game was in the rain.
Monsoon game.
Have you realized the Niners have had a monsoon game 3 years in a row?
They deserve it.
They had it with Washington back when they were in the football team in 2020. Remember 5 turnovers, but they still won.
Uh huh.
That was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
That was the
Uh,
year they went to the Super Bowl.
Last year they did it against the Colts,
Did they play
and
a
this
monsoon
year
game against the Colts?
it was prime time.
I barely remember that.
I remember watching that.
Well, I know you remember watching that.
And then there was also the game that this week with the Bears and the Niners, which the highlight of that game, MVP of that game, the photographer who took that one picture of
all those pictures of Justin Fields. It's QB1.
Well, there's not much to say about that game, because it was a dog shit game, like weather wise. The game to say is not emblematic of those two teams.
Here's a game that I was pissed that I couldn't watch. The Steelers Bengals game.
Oh, chaos game.
I'm so mad that I missed it. Because what was it? Joe Burrow's first pass of the season picked off Minkah Fitzpatrick, pick 6. They keep going throughout the game. Joe Burrow just looks terrible. What did he have? 4 turnovers? 5 turnovers?
5. I think he had 4 picks.
5 turnovers.
He's the one with the Super Bowl like hangover, and he didn't even win it.
Yeah. Oh, and then what they scored as time expired, and then Minkah Fitzpatrick again blocking the PAT, sending it to overtime. I think we had a doink, and then a game winner from like 50 yards.
Yeah,
it was something crazy. I'm pissed because guess what? Couldn't watch that one either.
I just noticed.
Watched all the things on Twitter.
I just noticed the category you put us in for just chatting.
Yeah, it's just chatting.
No, I mean next to that, the tag.
What tag?
There's just a thing next to just chatting that says bisexual.
Yeah, it's me. It's my Twitter. It's my Twitch. Corbin's all of his say dyslexic speed run, challenge run. All of them. Every single stream he does.
I just didn't notice it first, but I did now. It was funny. It made me laugh.
It's always been there.
I don't know. I never noticed it. I'm a moron.
Eagles Lions. I didn't see anything from this game. So
they both looked decent, and the Eagles just look really solid. I mean, again, it was against the Lions, which I like the Lions a lot, but they're not a good team at face value.
They're fun to root for. And that's what really matters.
I didn't watch this game either because it was I couldn't. And
was it blacked out?
Yeah,
Really? Yeah.
You know what else is blacked out?
The
Steelers Bengals game. I think
that is unfortunate.
We didn't watch that one. No, actually, we did get to because Joel had red zone up, so
that'll help.
Mm-hmm. There were so many games in the first because we had Colts Texans, Niners Bears, Saints Falcons, and a fourth game was the Browns Panthers game. Yeah, so we didn't watch that game, unfortunately. Eagles making a statement. I can't wait to see how this is talked about in Hard Knocks, which came out today. Colts Texans.
Talk about it.
I don't want to spend too long. But
talk about it a little bit. Vent your frustration.
The Colts looked like the team that they were going to be for the first quarter, and then somewhere in the second quarter, one of the most bullshit defensive PI calls I'd seen was called on Kenny Moore, and he did nothing to him. Everyone I was watching with agreed it was a terrible PI call, but that got them like 20 plus yards to the field, like right outside the red zone. And then next play, they threw a touchdown to OJ Howard, and it just kind of changed momentum for the entire game, where the Colts looked terrible and the Texans looked like a good team up until the fourth quarter, where the Colts were like, "Hey, let's play football again," and then tied it up. And then I guess rest in peace to the career of Hot Rod Rodrigo Blankenship. I'm
Not
actually
the career, not the career.
I said the Colts
Oh, I
kicker
thought you
career.
said R.I.P. to the career.
I said the Colts kicker
I didn't
career.
hear Colts. Okay.
I clarified, right? Or maybe I didn't. I don't know. But anyways, I'm
Maybe you
wearing his
didn't. I'm
jersey
silly.
in memoriam with the focus. There we go. Yeah, I gotta wear that the Blankenship. I'm so upset that he's gone. Respect the spectacle.
I'm
That
shocked that they did, but
I'm
I know that
not.
he's had like some consistency issues, and I know that as a kicker, it's like you're either consistent or you're gone. There's
Do you know
not
where
like
he
a.
really had? Sorry, continue.
I was say there's not really like a. You give other positions like they're in a slump. It's fine. It's whatever. But like if a kicker goes into a slump that's long enough, it's like you're just done. We pay you to do one thing, and you can't do it consistently. It's like we'll go get somebody who can. There's tons of people who can do it. Not saying it's easy, but it's like you only get one kicker.
The market there's a market for it.
There's more supply
plenty
than demand.
Yeah. And so what made me upset is that I'm not super surprised about this because he didn't play that much last year because of the injury.
Mhm.
But the first year, I assumed that this really was kind of a make or break year for him because you know where he was the most inconsistent watching him? The clutch.
Game winners.
I remember like one kick in his rookie year that he came up clutch. I went like, "There's my boy, let's go." But for the most part, he was always really great in the first half. But just if it was like a fourth quarter game winner overtime, I was always so unsure watching him going up there. And I hate saying that because I love him so much. I love Hot Rod, and I'm upset. I didn't want to cut him. Even after this game, I wouldn't have cut him. In all honesty,
I'm surprised they did
but
it
I'm
this early.
yeah, I felt like he would have had a couple more chances, but it's like it's why I'm not super surprised as somebody who watched his entire career with the Colts. I'm saying with the Colts. I'm clarifying just in case. I hope he continues with another team and does excellent. I love that man. I just wish he was still with the Colts.
For your sake, I would
But
kind of hope that he comes to Cleveland, so we'd still be rooting for him. But we got Katie York. He's got that dog in him.
he's got that dog in him. We got a different Cleveland kicker.
You guys picked
nothing
up
official. Nothing official.
Wait, was it not official?
No, I don't think so. I think
I thought it was official that you guys got McKicker.
McLaughlin, Michael Badgley. I think it was McLaughlin was like the most likely.
Hold on, I'm fact checking this right now. Oh, the Colts are okay. You're right. They're gonna get McKicker. Patriots Dolphins.
Okay, they did sign him, all right. Patriots Dolphins. I've been high on the Dolphins the entire offseason. I was pretty certain they were going to win this one. That defense is insane.
I'm surprised that they held the Patriots to 7.
I'm not, dude. I was looking at that game when I could. That defense is just so good. I didn't see much of the offense, so I can't judge because I really wanted to judge two of it. There are too many good games to watch, and my lord, that defense, that's gonna be hard to play against. But no, I mean, there's one big thing. There's one big thing to talk about, which is that Mac Jones got hurt during that game.
He's fine. Last I checked, he just had spasms.
Okay, good.
It wasn't anything crazy.
I didn't see the full update, so
I think he should be
all right.
good.
I'm glad
he's good. Ravens Jets.
Ravens Jets. Ravens probably should have won by more, to be honest. I didn't watch it too much.
Do we want to talk about Lamar Jackson?
I mean, you can.
His contract.
Oh yeah.
That's specifically what I meant. Not like his play or anything, but the contract that he turned down was ludicrous to turn down. But it was like that
million, right?
It's that QB arms race of like, oh well, so and so got more money. And I think Deshaun Watson's like 280 million, 290 million, whatever it is, guaranteed contract, like fully guaranteed contract. Lamar Jackson turned down a 6-year, $290 million deal with 133 million of that guaranteed, just because he wants it fully guaranteed. Do you think the Ravens like give in to that fully guaranteed contract next year, or do you think they let him walk?
Depends how far they make it into the playoffs.
I think this really is like a not. I wouldn't say make or break year because I think Lamar Jackson can go to a ton of teams and do perfectly fine. So it's not like a make or break year
Make or break with the
for his Ravens career.
Yes,
because I think if he hey man, I'm a Lamar Jackson optimist. That's why I said that I had them going to the conference championship. I think Lamar Jackson's gonna get his bag and then not make it to the Super Bowl.
It'll be interesting. That'll be watch all of this build up be over nothing. He just gets the contract and that's it. There's no
Yeah,
like
it's gonna be
prolonged
boring.
drama about it like you get with like Aaron Rodgers and whatnot. It's just, oh yeah, I got my bag. That's it.
Jaguars Commanders. Anything fun to say about that game?
Couldn't watch this game that much.
Couldn't watch it. I was at work.
Um, Washington doesn't look half bad in the passing game, especially. Then again, it's against the Jaguars, who I don't think the Jaguars are going to be an awful team this year, but it was interesting to see Carson Wentz get his revenge, essentially. And I'm intrigued to see where Washington might go with this. Against the Jaguars. The team that essentially kicked him out of Indianapolis.
See, I wasn't thinking that far. I was thinking so far back. I was like, the Eagles.
No. Jacksonville are essentially the team that kicked him out of Indianapolis.
Indianapolis was like a pit stop for Carson Wentz, in my opinion. It's like,
I'm intrigued to see how he does on the commies, and I'm gonna be watching that team a bit more. Hopefully, not that I like that team, but I'm just intrigued. I don't know. I'm just so confused. I can't tell. I can't tell if they're gonna be a team who sneaks in with a wild card or just fucking implodes. Yeah.
I think the latter. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Again, it's week 1. Nobody knows anything.
Yeah, we're trying not to overreact too much.
But do you know
what that we want to talk about more?
Do you know what I do know though? I do know that it was really funny when the Giants beat the Titans.
We were all rooting for it so hard because with the Giants beating the Titans, guess what? The leader of the AFC has 0 wins, despite the fact that 2 of them played against each other. It's so great.
The AFC South is winless.
The
I genuinely cannot believe that happened. It's so stupid. And also the fact that the Cowboys are the only NFC East team without a win.
To be fair, I would say it's funny that it looked like to me that the Giants are going to be the worst team in that division, and they're the only ones who got to win against a legitimate opponent.
The Giants genuinely have a chance to start like 4-0. Like, have you seen their next 3 games? Mm-hmm. Home game versus Carolina. Home game versus Dallas without Dak. Home game versus the Bears. Those are like 3 very winnable games for the Giants. They could start 4-0.
Do you think the Giants will be this year's Panthers? Like, remember how the Panthers started at 3-0?
The Panthers looked really good for the first like 6 weeks.
No, it was the first 3 because then
was it the first 3?
CMC got injured during week 4, and then they went from 3-0 to like 3-3 immediately. Maybe that'll happen to the Giants. Watch them go 4-13 with those only 4 wins being in the beginning of the season.
Oh my god, that would be so funny.
They start out 4-0 and then they lose 13 straight. I hope Saquon Barkley is back. I really hope this isn't the one-off that
he looked good.
Dude, it looked like 2018 out there.
It genuinely did. It looked like his rookie season. God, I need him to stay healthy. So bad. I love watching that guy play.
He's so good when healthy. Chiefs look incredible in the games versus the Cardinals.
Yeah, they killed them. It was, oh my god, it was a slaughter.
The Chiefs might have won by only 23 points, but that's because the Cardinals mostly scored in garbage time. Like at one point, it was like 28-3 or something like that. It wasn't that score. I would have noticed.
And they had Trace McSorley in for the last, like, I think the very last drive. which I mean wasn't very long. It was like under 2 minutes, but Trace McSorley went in because it was garbage time in week 1.
The Chiefs look really good against a legitimate opponent. That's why it was tough for me to decide between the Chiefs and the Chargers winning the AFC West. Both those teams look so good. Not much to say
Speaking
there.
of the Chargers,
Oh yeah,
yeah, they looked they looked fucking great.
they look great as well. I'm a little bit worried about their closing performance because that's always been the thing about the Chargers. They won this game, yes, but it shouldn't have been a game. We should not have gotten to this point and been like, "Ooh, what if the Chargers lose?" They should have had this in the bag at past like halftime. But it felt like the Raiders could have come back and won, like very easily.
Yeah, Derek Carr was struggling all game. Just like
I'm gonna leave that up to week 1, both Derek Carr's performance and the Chargers not being able to finish it off. So
yeah, we'll see how it goes. But the Chargers definitely look legit. I'm excited to watch them this year.
Vikings, Justin Jefferson, let's go Vikings.
Justin Jefferson maybe cry and lose in fantasy.
I'm attaching my podcasting reputation at, I don't know, whatever, on the Vikings. I mean, if the Vikings go super far down into the playoffs this year, I'm gonna look like
you're leaning into it.
I'm leaning into it. I'm gonna become a Vikings fan now.
But do you think this is the same thing that happened with the Packers last year? The first 2 weeks where they just looked terrible and people were like, "It's it. Aaron Rodgers is done. He's cooked. He's finished."
Absolutely.
And then they looked fine the rest of the season.
This is a team without who doesn't have Devontae Adams anymore, and Aaron Rodgers apparently having troubles getting acquainted with some of these newer receivers. This is 100% exactly what you just said. I think Packers are gonna probably repeat the same thing as they always do really well in the last 2/3 of the season, fuck it up in the NFC Championship.
The first 3 weeks of the Packers, I feel like, are just gonna be rocky, and then they're gonna finally get it clicking, and then they're gonna flop right at the end of the season.
That's why I had the Packers doing really well, winning the North still, despite the fact that I think the Vikings will do better in the playoffs in the end. I think they're going to win the North because that's just what Aaron Rodgers does, unfortunately.
God, you are really high on the Vikings.
I am. I was only kind of, but
I'm honestly all about it.
I'm leaning into it for the meme. Let's go. I'm ride or die with the Vikings. I'm like what was his name on what was his name who picked Kirk Cousins as his
It was
MVP?
Kyle Brandt, I think, on Good Morning Football. It was one of the guys in Good Morning Football.
I'm him. You know what? I don't have enough money to be saying this because I really want to get a JT jersey. But if the Vikings make it to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl or Kirk, I'll consider getting a Vikings jersey if they make NFC Championship or Super Bowl. But if Kirk Cousins wins MVP, I'm getting the Kirk Cousins Vikings jersey. That won't happen.
I thought you were so high on him a minute ago.
I'm high on the Vikings, not Kirk Cousins winning MVP. And when you talk about his playoff performance, it's a regular season award anyway, so it doesn't matter. That bit fucking got me. No, I'm high on the Vikings. I'll consider going with Viking swag if they do really well in the playoffs.
Do you want to talk about a really, really boring game?
Man, the Bucs like to kick field goals. Everyone liked to talk about Tom Brady's diet and Dak got injured.
TB12. Oh yeah, Dak got hurt.
It was field goals, TB12, and Dak got hurt. That's all there is of note from that game.
There was one touchdown in the third quarter.
There was one touchdown,
and that was it. That was the one touchdown.
You have no idea how I talk about the Vikings. I get so excited. I talk quicker, whatnot. But I'm so deflated just talking about this game. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was a boring one. I don't think anybody that we were watching it with had fun watching that game at any point.
I was just playing Pokemon for the last 3 quarters. I could tell where this game was going, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep playing Heart Gold. Dude, I was having a way better time just running through Kanto, while having a football game on in the background.
Broncos Seahawks?
Stupid game, but fun
stupid game, silly game. So
Where do you
What's
start
up?
with the
What's up?
ending of that game?
What's up with the Broncos coaching?
Where the fuck do you start with the end of that game? What is that clock management?
Did you see Nathaniel Hackett today?
No,
He
I
said
didn't.
looking back at it, we definitely should have gone for it. Dude slept on it and went, maybe that wasn't the right call.
Maybe that wasn't the right call.
Everybody that we were watching it with, everybody on the Manning cast, I think basically just about every single person knew what you do in that situation and does not attempt the second longest field goal in NFL history with Brandon McManus at like 7 feet above sea level. It doesn't happen. You just don't do that.
Do you remember? I mean, nobody was more like outraged about it than Shannon Sharp on the Manning cast. He
I
was
was
yelling.
pissed. I was pissed. I lost my fantasy game because of that. I needed Jerry Jeudy to catch one more pass for like 8 yards and I would have tied. I'm so mad, dude. But Shannon Sharp was losing his mind.
He was yelling at Russ so much on like the end of the fourth quarter.
The Manning brothers trying to explain to Shannon Sharp that they were kicking it, and he like sits up in his chair and goes, "Kicking what? What are they kicking?" It's like, oh my god, it genuinely baffling, like, decision. And you knew that they were going for it because they had Russ just stand in like the backfield ready for the snap for like 30 seconds and then call a timeout. And everybody's screaming timeout. You need to call a timeout and you need to get this first down. And they run off 30 seconds, call a timeout, and miss the field goal wide left.
So I guess Geno Smith is just better than Russell Wilson.
I won't say that definitively, but Geno Smith did look pretty good.
No, Russell. If I had to pick at the end of the season, I think I'll be looking back saying Russell Wilson was a better quarterback.
Not this game, he wasn't.
But not this game.
Oh my god! Can we talk about the ball security too?
Oh my god!
The amount of fumbles in this game, and the amount of goal line. What was it? 2 separate goal line stands by the Seahawks. One of them resulting in like a turnover on downs. The other one resulting in a fumble, or maybe they were both fumbles.
Better to have died a small child than fumble this ball on the 1 yard line.
It was a game. It wasn't boring, but it was a game. People played it. It had 4 quarters. Points were put on the board.
This game, yeah, because of all the turnovers, all I have to say is we are owed 2 dead children because of this game for the amount of goal line fumbles.
Is that where we're ending? Ending it on, we're owed 2 dead children. 2 kids gotta go.
That's the rule from now in the NFL. Every time that somebody fumbles it on the goal line, they have to do some like child sacrifice.
They have to sacrifice a kid in the stands that has like the earmuffs on because it's too loud, and they've got like their Broncos onesie.
I like Joel McHale being a mom on a Zoom call, kept like yanking his
showing his son.
Legitimately, I'm right. That's just, he was just a mom on a Zoom call. Like when she's during COVID, my mom did this. She would be on like the call with like all of her friends and be like, "Court, get here, say hi."
Friends?
Like,
so you mean the coworkers?
No, during COVID, I'm talking about. Like,
oh, that's different.
No, what I'm saying is her acting of like trying to like pull the kid into the Zoom call. It had the same vibe as what Joel McHale was doing. Just the actions themselves. That's what I meant.
I can think of few things that I want less than to like drag my parents into a VC.
Yeah. I loved the ending of that Broncos Seahawks game. It was perfect.
I wish that I won my fantasy game, but I didn't, so I'm angry about it.
I destroyed mine.
I'm a spiteful person. I won in our league. I didn't win in my other league. And that was the important part.
Is there anything to talk about? So I mean, we mainly talked about Hot Rod already. TJ Watt's out for the season.
No, he's not out for the season.
Oh no, sorry. Probably he might be. I hope he's not.
I thought he was. He tweeted a Terminator gift today.
Oh,
He tweeted, "I'll be back."
I'm a bit behind on today's shit, to be honest. Dak's gonna be out probably till October. Who else? There was somebody
Did you
else
see the
that I was.
Browns' new midfield logo?
No, what was it?
It's Brownie the Elf. He's back. That face that you're making makes me think that you don't know who Brownie the Elf is.
I'm sorry, dude. I don't know if you could say that.
I can say it. He looks like Johnny Manziel.
I'm saying the name you're saying doesn't sound
Brownie the
right.
Elf?
I don't
Like
know
a
why.
like a sweet? You
I know,
fool.
but as a name, it doesn't sound right.
It's fine. People stand in front of our stadium and try to sell bootleg shirts that say "Bitch, give me a massage." I hate Browns fans. I hate the Cleveland Browns.
No, but I didn't see the new midfield. Let me look at that.
Well, it certainly has Brownie the Elf on it. It's. I kind of wish it was just the helmet. I don't hate it, but it's like I liked the helmet a little more.
So they bring this shit out here, but they can't name the new Cleveland team the Spiders. What the fuck is up with Cleveland sports teams right now?
Hey, the Guardians are doing pretty darn good. They're also an
That was
AL Central team, so you just need to do slightly above average and you're better than everybody else.
fun fact about two cool things I wanted to bring up again about the Colts Texans game. I can't believe Lovie Smith punted. I can't believe Lovie Smith settled for a tie and didn't go for it. I'm surprised by that. And also, do you know when the if you looked at the because if you look at baseball standings, you get like a last 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look at the last 10 for the Colts for week 1 games, I think their record would be 0-9-1.
Why is my internet doing this? It's shitting again. Oh, it didn't.
Oh, is it shitting?
I think it's fine.
All right. Do we want to go into week 2 predictions?
Yeah, let's knock these out because I got something to do in 15 minutes.
All right. Okay. Let's find the week 2 schedule.
I've got it up.
All right. Thursday night, isn't that Chargers Chiefs? Right?
Chargers Chiefs. That's gonna be a banger. That's gonna be a good fucking game.
That's gonna be such a good game.
Chargers.
It's so tough. See, I'm rooting for the Chargers, right? But my gut's saying Chiefs.
It's a tough one. I think I'm gonna stick with Chargers.
I can't. It's gonna be such a good game. I'm writing these down so we can check for next week. All right. Dolphins Ravens.
Dolphins.
I'm Dolphins as well. I could see them losing, but I'm Dolphins. I'm high on the Dolphins as well.
Jets Browns.
When does Zach Wilson come back?
It's week 4, week 5.
Week 4, week 5.
Not this week.
White?
So,
There were chants for Mike White during that game.
Yeah, Mike motherfucking White. Put him in.
Joe Flacco threw 59 times.
Browns win this one.
Oh, Browns. Yeah, I'm
Easy.
going Browns.
Yeah. The Washington Commanders and the Lions.
That's a tough one, to be honest.
In Detroit.
I'm going Lions.
Lions. Colts Jaguars in Duval. It's the Jaguars.
You know what? No. You know when the last time the Colts won in Duval was? So they play. Remember, they play in Duval every
once a year.
Yeah. When do you think the last time the Colts won in Duval was?
2012.
2014.
I don't think that they can't do it. It's been almost a decade.
No. You know what the real prediction is?
Huh.
Another tie.
Another tie. Mark that one down. Another tie.
I'm not marking that down.
Jaguars.
Do you know? So do you know when the last time a team got 2 ties in a season was?
Probably like the 80s.
1973, which was the year before they brought in overtime. So like there has not been a
Oh,
team has not
yes.
gotten 2 ties since overtime has been introduced in the regular season. What if the Colts do it? 2 ties, baby. Oh, 0-2. No, but I'm gonna be an optimist. Colts win.
All right.
I'm being an optimist.
Buccaneers, Saints in New Orleans.
One second, I was trying to write something. Chiefs.
I think the Saints win this one.
You think the Saints win this one?
I think the Saints win this one.
This is tough. I'm gonna have to go Bucks. I'm about to say Bucks.
Bucks. Panthers, Giants in technically Jersey.
So my gut is saying Panthers, but I'm having faith in these Giants. It's a terrible idea, by the way. I think it's gonna be the Panthers, but my vote is going for the Giants. I don't know why. I'm going with
I'm
my
kind of the same way. My gut says Panthers, but there's like something in the back of my brain that is like the Giants. Like this is a very winnable game for New York.
It's not even my gut. It's like honestly, it's like the logical part of my gut, or more accurately, my brain is saying Panthers, Panthers, Panthers. But the true gut, the gut in the gut, is saying Giants.
I'm gonna say Panthers.
I'm gonna say I'm sticking with Giants. Patriots, Steelers.
Even though I was just talking about how the Giants could start 4-0, but I think they could. Not that they're going to. They could. It's very possible that they could. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think the Panthers come out on top.
Right,
Patriots, Steelers.
This is tougher than I would. If you'd asked me a week ago, this would not be tough, but this is a bit tougher. I'm going Patriots.
In Pittsburgh, though, I was gonna say at Heinz Field, but they took down the big ketchup bottle.
Field. Now it's at an insurance.
Were they in Pittsburgh last week? I'm gonna use some like genuine.
No, they were in Cincinnati.
They were in Cincinnati. They lose. They lose this game. Patriots win.
Patriots. All right.
Patriots win this.
Falcons, Rams. I'm gonna go Rams.
Rams.
Yeah.
Niners, Seahawks. In Santa Clara.
It's the same thing with the Giants. Part of me is like the gut in the gut saying Seahawks, but I'm gonna ignore the gut in the gut here and say Niners.
See, my big issue is we didn't really get to see the Niners play. They were in a literal monsoon, so it's kind of like.
Niners player got injured. Elijah Mitchell. He's out for like a few weeks.
But they got Debo.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't have a running back. They just have a running back who also plays receiver now.
But I'm going Niners.
Niners.
All right.
Bengals, Cowboys.
Bengals, Cowboys. I'm gonna go Bengals. Yeah. Especially without Dak. If Dak was there, I would be a little more hesitant, but I'm going Bengals.
Texans, Broncos.
Texans, Broncos?
They are in Denver. If they want to kick a 64-yard field goal, this is the week to do it.
What do you say? I showed off my hot rod jersey, but you didn't show off what you're wearing.
Oh, no, I showed it off. I was talking about the Browns Panthers game, and I held it up. Baker Mayfield.
I can't see you right now.
Yeah. I forgot you can't see.
I can't see you. You might have been holding it up, but
it's Baker Mayfield.
Hot rod,
and it's a nice Baker Mayfield one too. It's our 75th anniversary one.
Okay. So who you say?
Broncos.
It's the in Mile High that's really getting me. If this was in Houston, I would think I'd pick the Texans, but I'm having a tough one with this. You know what? I think I'm with you. I think they shake off the week 1 jitters. I'm going Broncos.
Also Raiders at Allegiant Stadium.
Cardinals Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Raiders. Now this would be the time to pick
Cardinals.
Cardinals because it's early season Cardinals.
Cardinals. I'm going Cardinals.
Cardinals only shit the bed once you get to like post Call of Duty.
Yeah, they're good until October.
Yeah.
All right, Court. We got the most storied.
Well, no, they're good. They're
matchup.
good. They're good until November.
Most storied matchup in NFL history. Bears Packers at
Packers.
Lambeau.
Second, just writing some down.
I think I want to just say Bears just because I think it would be funny if they
I'm going
win.
Packers. It would
Same
be funny.
Bears.
I'm rooting for the Bears, but I think Packers are going to win.
Titans Bills. It's
Bills.
in Orchard Park too.
They're
And then
gonna
our
lose
Monday
Stadium,
night football game, Vikings Eagles.
Vikings. I can see the Eagles winning. These are both teams that I
In
think
Philly.
like, these are teams that I could see getting like 9 to 10 wins and squeaking their way into the playoffs. You know, I mean, I like both these teams as like teams with very rough teams that could miss the playoffs but also possibly make it. So I like both these teams, but I think Vikings are going to beat the Eagles.
I think I'm gonna agree with you. Vikings.
You said Vikings?
Vikings.
We got double Monday Night Football. We get double header.
All right.
Is there anything else to talk about that we're missing?
I don't think so.
So how long was that? Like an hour 16. It's not like an hour.
Hour 16.
It'll probably be a shorter show. This will only probably be like 45 minutes each week, which I'm fine with that.
Yeah, probably.
We're gonna be streaming probably typically
Tuesday.
If you want to watch us, we're streaming this Tuesdays at I'd say 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to catch us live,
depending on the day and my schedule,
I'm gonna suggest
but 7 Tuesday is
that's the rough
right.
time. If you want to message us or whatever, chat, you can and call us hacks. Go ahead, do it there, because this is a VOD. We thought it'd be more fun to do this shit live.
All right.
Anything else you want to say?
No, I think that's it. I think we're good.
We're still owed 2 child sacrifices. I want to make sure those. I want to catch up on those later next week.
We'll be sure to check in on that.